So I'm going to assume that over half of you watching this video have never experienced this game. So I'm going to give you a little taste of it right now. So if you still don't have any idea what this game is, it's verdun. You could barely tell because it's been updated recently, thank God. It was originally released in 2015 by MH2 or M2H and Black Mill Games. Um, if you have been playing this game or you've been following the studios or whatever, the developers, you would know that this game has been suffering some really bad developing issues. Like, the game was in a terrible state on the consoles. Like, it was just poorly optimized. It wasn't unplayable, but you really couldn't get the full enjoyment out of it, you know. It was just bad. You know, it was just really hard to play. Like, if you weren't a hardcore, I would say, World War One shooter, or someone who's willing to take the time in getting into learning the hard mechanics of games, you're gonna be really having a real hard time with this game. You know, because it requires you to like hold your breath and aim correctly and use cover and just do things, you know, in different perspective than what people are normally used to in today's gaming. And it became really frustrated for a lot of people. You know, it was really hard to play. It was just the interface was bad, the AI was bad, you know, everything was just kind of eh. And so, ever since it being released on the consoles and specifically on the PlayStation where I've been playing it, you know, the gamer players count has been pretty much falling to a really low number of players. You know, like I've bought this game when it was first initially released on the store, and from that point on, it's just been a slow decline to no players at all. And it was just becoming a fucking tragedy because I really loved this game and I really loved playing it with my buddies, specifically REKING Skrubs here on YouTube. But it was just becoming so unplayable. You know, we had to play on the EU servers and there was just nothing to do about it, you know. And you know, we just kind of watched it kind of dwindle off and die, and we just kind of moved on to different games. But you know, we got lucky. You know, I mean, as fans of this game, we noticed that, you know, we saw that the actual developers cared about this game and they wanted to update it. You know, and fucking 3 years or 4 years later, you know, they're still having the heart for this game, and they still wanted to improve on it. And you know, it really shows their, you know, what kind of developers that they are to really put in the work for this game. And my God, how grateful I am for the work that they put into it, and just been porting it over to the PlayStation. Because again, like, if you are not on the PlayStation, you know, you would not know on how games be just left behind and poorly optimized and just left for an easy cash grab. This game was like 20, $30, and from what I remember, these guys did not have to do this. This can easily been a cash grab, but no, they said no. We want to update this shit. We want to make it better, and we want to make it enjoyable for the fucking PS4 console players because everyone deserves to enjoy this game. And god damn it, they're fucking right. And they deserve the praise and love they get for fucking doing this shit. So, I want to talk about just a little bit of the things that they improved on this game. Um, they improved the overall interface. Everything's kind of the same, but you can see that the allies are now having this blue dot over their head just to symbolize that they're friendlies. If you never noticed, if you ever played before this game was updated, a lot of new players, a lot of in-depth people shot at a lot of friendlies not knowing that they were friendlies, and causing a lot of commotion between a lot of allies, getting them killed from enemies. So a lot of that stuff's been changed. The whole team damage thing has changed, so they kind of notify you, look, you're causing damage to your teammates, this is what's happening. Um, that's been changed. The overall map has been changed. You're able to look at the whole map field now instead of just kind of like this weird screen of your friend or just looking at someone's screen. You kind of get the whole overlay map and kind of see. You can kind of pick out where people are, but it's just a lot better than just watching someone else's screen. And they improved on the whole interface, the whole sensitivity is just better. I'm just able to walk around in free reign. I don't know why I wasn't able to look around. I wasn't able to just shoot freely like here in this clip. I'm getting nasty. I'm getting in it, I'm popping in and out. And before I wouldn't be able to really do that, it was so hard before and clunky. But now they made that way better, and it just makes it much more enjoyable. Yeah, the grenade toss has been improved. Or, I mean, not really improved, it's been changed. It's been like you could really throw it a lot less farther than you could normally before. You could used to throw that shit like a hockey puck. But now you could barely toss it. As you can see, I barely threw that over that little trench area. But, I mean, it's just subtle changes like that have been improved on in the game. That's about it. Everything else has just been greatly smoothed out, and the graphics have just been way, way better than before. Like, it's really just unbelievable. I mean, it just compared to what I'm used to what now, it's crazy, you know. Like right now, I should have noticed that was a guy, and those guys just completely swarmed us. But before, I'm just so used to it before. Like if you take a look here now, you'll see how the game was before the update, and you could tell right away how low textured and how low res this whole game is. It's just completely outdated to say the least. I hate to say it, but it's literally like a 2012 model. This is a Unity engine. It has blocky animations. Like, look, this is the same map that we played on. This is Dumont, the same little map that we played on. You can tell it's a lot more blocky, a lot more grayish, a lot more like not even stonework kind of thing. It's just like this block hallway with some kind of lighting in it, you know? It's just like it's bad. It wasn't terrible, like I could still play it and have fun and shit, but I'm not a person who really gets too picky about graphics, but just for me it makes it a lot more enjoyable. But you could tell here it's just before, like my God, it's just bad looking. Oh my, oh God. Again, if you notice here, it's just like, again, everything is just low texture. Everything is just kind of stiff animation and just like kind of really poor. And it just kind of, it doesn't really make like the greatest experience of anything. So, If you see here, I just got a fucking quad kill of grenades. Oh god, I remember that. See, I mean, like, this game is super fun, but like, you could tell that everyone in there was just so inept on the game. They just didn't know what was really going on, therefore allowing me to throw 2 grenades up their ass, blowing up the whole battalion. So again, if you this is another old clip that I really took before, and if you really look at my movement and you just look at the quality, you could tell like my neck is just really slow. Like my 180 perspective is just not that great. And I really try to mess with the sensitivity, and I really try to mess with a lot of different things, but I got nothing from it. And it just seems way better now. I don't know why. It just seems like it was so bad before. But again, like, one of the best things like that should happen to this game now is like it should receive the love and support of all the players. Like, we need to get more players in this game now. Like, we need to have a good community to hold this game together. Because again, like I said before, I love playing this game. It's super fun. You know, I get into it. You know, it's a World War One game that fucking any other game could not really give us. You know, Battlefield 1 couldn't give us this shit. Battlefield 5 couldn't give us this shit. You know, this was something that we should have gotten when those games were announced, and we didn't get them. And this is basically one of the only games that gives us that War One trench warfare experience. There's really nothing out there in the, you know, on the consoles or anything right now that has this sort of thing, you know. So it deserves our love and support. You know, we need to have good fucking decent amount of players playing frequently, because I know I'm gonna be playing frequently, and I want to have different players, different people playing with me, and just keeping this game alive overall. You know, I would hate to see this game die just over, you know, a month or so, or a couple months, or even a year of this game being updated. You know, because I tried waiting a couple weeks after making this video from when the game was updated, because when the game was first updated, there was 100 players, 100 and so players, you know, playing online, active, doing different things. But now that after a couple weeks have gone by and things have kind of slowed down, you know, the player count is roughly around 30 to 50 people. So, you know, it's stabilizing, but I believe those numbers should be a lot higher. You know, I want to see multiple matches. I want to be able to hop into different matches, you know, and just play whatever, instead of just being stuck on one thing, on one game that you know, that only one people are playing on. So again, you know, we need to get this game going, and you should really try to fucking buy this game. It's really worth it. It's not even that expensive online on the PlayStation Store or anything. You know, it's like 20 bucks or even 30 bucks, I don't even remember. But it's totally worth it. You know, get it with your buddies, play with your friends, whatever. I mean, I fucking absolutely love it. That's all I pretty much have to say for this video. You can go ahead and keep watching the rest of this. This is pretty much just me getting nasty in the trenches. And yeah, so if you want to subscribe, fucking like my video, or whatever, all that bullshit, or whatever, don't. I don't give a fuck. I'm just kidding. Thanks, guys. I'll fucking catch you next time in the next video. See ya.